Hi guys, welcome to the channel for new battle report. So this is the third game of the online tournament that I'm playing at the moment. I was paired this time against Ogre Khan, so first time that I can play against my other army, which is always interesting because you know it perfectly. So it's going to be interesting to see how I can take advantage of that inside knowledge. You know already my list, this is it. And this was my opponent's list, so he's playing basically a very shooty list. As you can see, he has 60 bow scrappling, then he has 2 units of bombardier, a unit of shooty mercvrats, so really full strength 4 AP2 shooting. The frosty, couple of chaff pieces, a big unit of bruises, and then the characters are shamanism, pyromancy, and BSB with 18-inch reroll. But basically one of the weakness is the leadership 8 around the list. So he has discipline banner for the BSB being in the mercvrats. But other than that, it's going to be a low leadership around the board. We were playing all the ground on surging tides. So it's like frontline clash, but without 6 inch on each side of the board. And a couple of details around the exchanging of drops, but in this case it doesn't matter a lot on all the ground, to be honest, because we are going to be central and one of us is going to try to go for first turn. Below you have spell selection. I didn't have H on the Prophet, I had it on Lamassu with the other 2 spell, and the rest is occultism. And on his side we have on the right his spell. On the matchup analysis, so yeah, on the secondary I would like to start if I can, because I can get some board control and push towards the middle of the ground. The Overlord is a key counter against the Bruiser Star, so I need to protect him against his strength 4 shooting to be able to survive long enough to engage in favorable combat. The Titan can be very dangerous if I'm outside of his poison mercvet range, and even inside, I mean, I shouldn't suffer too much from that, so I expect the Titan to have a very strong matchup. My estimation was slightly positive. Deployment wise, I was really happy to, at the beginning, not really happy to win the roll for side. I was really happy about the map because I have a lot of interesting piece of terrain, and I won the roll for the side. So I picked the one with the wall, the field, the ruin, and there is also a hill in the middle of the map, and I gave him basically water and forest, and mainly an impassable on his part of the map. He elected not to start to deploy, which surprised me a bit, so I did so. I elected to drop for first turn. I placed Anointed, Incarnate, and Overlord playing around the hill and getting some cover. Here I have the soft cover bastion near the hill. Then a unit of Vassal, my 30 warriors that's going to play in the field, unit of slaves, the Titan, and the Lamassu on the far right. And his counter deployment, he surprised me a bit. He put a unit of Yetis, then the Bombardiers with a mage all the way to the right outside of BSB bubble, which is surprising. Big unit of Scrappling, the Frosty, unit of Mercvrats with the BSB, a Bombardier with second mage, the Bruiser Star all the way to the left near the lake, which also is a surprise, and then the 2 Scrapplings somewhere to the left. So not so aggressive for him. He's not playing the middle, as you can see. I'm already on the front foot for the old ground because I have 1, 2, 3 scoring in the middle, and I'm going to start, so I'm going to establish control somewhere here, where the Bruiser Star is really far away, and in the middle he only has Scrappling and the Mercvrats to do something, which is not going to be enough. So I'm already feeling good about the matchup. My turn 1. I push, so Incarnate and the Bull stay behind the hill, and basically the main job of the Bull will be stopping the advance of the Bruiser Star. As long as he stays somewhere here hidden and needs to respect my Bull, it's perfect for me. I'm basically maintaining one of the key strength units in his army far away from me. And then I'm established with the 3 scoring unit near the middle, already control of the middle. Kadim Titan march towards the left to threaten the Bombardier because it's going to be a shaky terror check in case I can charge. And I made the movement to be as far away as possible, as forwards as possible, to basically, even if he goes back 3 inches, I'm going to have a charge. It's going to be an 8, and if he fails that one, he's losing Bombardiers plus a mage on turn 2. It's going to be huge. Lamassu is going here, Overlord is going here, and here I'm going behind the wall because he has some Bombardiers here. So basically has no interesting shooting for Bombardiers. Here it's against Red 6, here it's against hard cover units, and in the middle, as you can see, I'm also having cover in most of my units, so it's looking good. Magic Face, I get a breast weapon, and the Bastion together are killing this first piece of chaff, which is nice to get control of the movement phase. He dispelled Gravecoal, I get Rot Within on the Mercvrats, and then with Pentagram I'm able to do 2 wounds to his Mercvrats. So that's it for a good turn 1. His turn 1, he moved behind the hill with the Scrapplings. move forward with those two units. I'm not able to charge those bombardiers with the Overlord that has no line of sight. Those guys stay in the forest to shoot me. He moves the Yeti aggressively to threaten my backline, but I have the Lamassu here ready to charge. He moves a bit back and brings the Frost as a support piece. Magic Face, he gets Flaming Sword on the Scrappling. Fireball did 1 wound to my Anointed, and then with shooting he managed to do 5 wounds to my Slave with the Scrappling, and I failed the 9 check non-rollable. I'm going to flee with the Slave, which is not the good news, and then he managed with his Bombardiers. That's the start against Titan. So as you can see, it's not crazy. It's between 0 and 1, and this time it's going to do 2 wounds, so a bit above average, but nothing tremendous here. On my turn 2, going to attempt this charge. So it's a charge on a 10 Swift Stride. He has first of all a turret check, which he did pass, and I failed my charge, and I had the worst possible outcome because only with a 6 it's going to block me against the Impassable. I knew that risk. And basically I roll 6-1-1, I think. So not only I failed charge, not only he passed the check, but I rolled the worst roll that blocks me against the Impassable. I knew the risk of it happening, but I still figured out that's going to be the best option for me. So I failed that one, which is going to be to block me 2 turns. Here I charge with the Lamassu against the Yetis. I have a flaming breast weapon, so I felt if I'm able to get reroll to wound, it should be enough. They failed the 9 check to rally and flee again, so another 9 non-rollable fail, and the rest remains pretty much the same. I'm with 3 scoring around the middle, so I'm going to be 1 up after the end of the turn. In Magic Face, I Binding Scroll the Grave Call to avoid the Merc Vets suffering too much. I dispel the Breast Weapon. Pentagram does 3 wounds to the Merc Vets. And then I got Rot Within and another wound with an attribute of Pyromancy on the Merc Vet. So looking nice, because in case we get into combat, it's going to hit me on 4 up, even with the paired weapon, which is important as well. And close combat, I managed to kill the Yetis thanks to, I think I got a spell or in some way I got a reroll to wound here in this combat. And basically I managed to kill him with the Lamassu without suffering any wound. His turn 2, he brings the Frosty to shoot at my Titan. Those guys didn't move much. He moved out of the forest to punish the Lamassu and shoot him, which I like a lot because I have some good opportunities here. He uses the chaff to chaff the Incarnate and force me to go on the hill slightly. In the Magic Phase, I dispelled Swarm of Insect on the Canim Titan, obviously. He got Flaming Swarm on the Scraplings. Fireball did 1 wound on the Infernal Warrior, and shooting did 3 wounds to the Titan, so it's a bit too much. As you can see, it's the stat. So in 80% of the time, he should do nothing to the Titan. This time I managed to do 3 wounds with the 2 Hunting Spear, which is a lot. So 3 wounds, but this time no wounds from the Bombardier. So at least that's that. Could have been worse, I could have died. So no complaining here. It is 1 wound to the Lamassu with the shooty Mergrets, and kill a couple of Vassals, and also some wounds to the Incarnate with the Scraplings. I think the 5 Scraplings killed 1 full Incarnate, which was funny. My turn 3, I elected not to charge. We can debate about that, but I elected to play safe, focus range damage here, and just tell him you cannot charge me. I don't want anything to happen. Him charging through the Incarnate, going through, and I don't know what could happen. I prefer at this point of time to play safe. I don't care about the chaff. The Incarnate is going to stay here for the moment, and the Overlord can fly basically. I have 2 strong units in the middle. I don't care too much for the moment about this chaff piece. I move back with the Lamassu to not get shot. Move the Titan sideways to tell him next turn I'm charging you again if you don't kill me. And here I stay behind the wall to avoid further shooting. I get a breast weapon, 2 wounds on the Mergvets. I get Pentagram D6 and 1 shot the small chaff, which is lucky for me. And I get +1 armor save on the Bastion to protect myself a bit. I did with the Bastion a total of 4 wounds on the Mergvets that are outside of the forest, so very good damage this round between the breast weapon and the Bastion. And he dispelled obviously the Grave Calls. He's turn 3, he start to move back with the main unit. Those guys also move a bit back, and he basically is ready to shoot me and kill me. In the Magic Phase, he got Flaming Sword on Scrappling, did 1 wound to my Titan with his shots. So this time the Hunting Spear did nothing, and he did a wound with those Bombardiers. And he killed a 4 warrior with the Scraplings with the bow. My turn, and this time I charge the Bombardier. They failed 8 terror check, luckily for me. They go off the board. I pass the redirect check on 7 and charge the Frosty for a very dicey combat. I push forward with my Bastion that don't care too much about those guys now, and the rest of the combat unit, I'm too far away from the Bruiser Star, so everything else is in the front, I should be fine. So to shoot again at the Mergrets, and the rest also push slightly forward, but as you can see, he did some wounds to my warrior that are not so healthy anymore. In the magic phase, I got breast weapon, kill 2 wounds to the Mergrets, I got +1 armor save on the Titan to try to save me against the low strength attack from the Frosty, and I think I also got, I don't know if I got real 2 wounds, I don't think so. Grave Call, 4 dice against 5, go through on the Mergrets and managed to do 3 wounds. And the Bastion on soft cover managed to do another wound. Not too bad, close combat. Yeah, it's dicey. I think it's slightly above 50% that he kills me, and he did do so. His turn 4, he very smartly moved towards the flank of my Bastion with his Frosty. I'm not anymore healthy enough to charge him and be sure that I can get rid of him. And he has a counter charge set up. I have no chaff that can chaff him, so I cannot engage safely into this combat. He moved slightly back, which surprised me a bit that he didn't bring the BSB in general into this unit to be safer and leave the Mergrets alone, try to move away 12 and save the points. I was a bit surprised by that. In the magic phase, he got Fireball on the Lamassu, did nothing, and he got a Flaming Sword on the Bombardier. Shot a bit at the Bastion, but didn't do much. And my turn 5, turn around with the Bastion to blast the Frosty. I move away with Lamassu to not die. Basically here I was ready to flee if I need to. No, I think, yeah, the idea was the counter charge. Yeah, exactly. I place myself that if he charge, I should be steadfast, I can counter charge. If he charge, I'm steadfast, I can counter charge. That's the idea. Here I move a bit forward to threaten him and force him to shoot me. And the same here, nothing crazy. Magic phase got a breast weapon, did I think 2 wounds, 1 wound to the Frosty. Pentagram on the Mergrets did nothing. And that's his 5. He moved away. Magic phase got Fireball, 1 wound on the Vassal. Flaming Sword, Dispel. Kill a couple of Incarnate, couple of Vassals. Nothing too crazy here. My 6, I turn forward to finish the Mergrets. The rest moves out of the way. Card number 1, I got Grave Call through on 3 dice against 4. Lucky me. I managed to finish the 2 remaining wounds of the Mergrets and do another wound to the General. He had 2 wounds left, and after that I got a Pentagram and I finished the General. So lucky me, but at the same time I'm punishing him for not having moved to another unit. He had 2 turns to do it. He didn't do it 2 turns. So on turn 6 I'm able to get also the point from the General. And that's it, guys. So it ended up being 14 plus 3 for the old ground, which is 17-3. Post-game analysis quickly. The map gave me plenty of interesting terrain to take advantage of. I think that's a key point. Ogre can never try to play the center. I think we can regret that. On his side, he could have, if I were him, I would have said, okay, I drop for first turn, I put the Bruiser in the middle, I put the Mergrets in the middle, and the Bombardier nearby. I push for first turn, I chaff with those scouting chaff. He can chaff very high and push really hard behind and gets the first shooting phase, the pressure on the center. He could have done a lot, I think, while starting. Happy to start and apply pressure. A big Ogre unit felt out of position, thinking at the Bruiser Star and the Bombardier out of the bubble. Turn 1, yeah, I think no big regret on the Kalim Titan phase. I think I could have gone through the ruin, take DTs, and then get into better position. But I think it's better to avoid to take any wounds early on. So no big regrets here. I've just felt I've had a rough outcome, but the decision was still right. Turn 2, Ogre Khan going out of cover without threats, threatening the Bastion. Push forward was a mistake, I think. Turn 4, Infernal Dwarves. Playing out of the bubble Bombardier was an accident waiting to happen. I think we saw that, yeah. 8 non-reroll is shaky, is going to fail at some time. Turn 4 Infernal Dwarves. Dicey combat between the Frost and Titan. Obviously, I would have liked to be able to strike because I think I win this combat and break him. But with 1 rune left, it was a bit too harsh for me. I think I had 2 ward saves to take. So not able to save the Titan, but would have been nice. He still did what I expected for him, which is delay the flank and get the point from the Bombardier. So still happy about his job. Guys, that's all. The round is not over yet, so we are winning under this moment, but not capped yet. So we still have some job to do. But looking forward to report you the 3rd game, and I think in the meantime, I will have some further battle report about the training day that I had, training camp on the weekend in Dijon against a French team. So it's going to be interesting. 3 games on the live table with slightly different lists. So looking forward to show you that. Thanks a lot for watching, and talk to you soon on the channel. Bye.